welcome back to the channel, back to another new video. In this week's video, I'm going to be taking you sort of behind the scenes of what happens in between race weekends. When I actually started the channel, it was always my intention to show this sort of side of the racing, but tell you one way or another, I just never done it. So this is going to be the start of me hopefully trying to do this, bring out more videos, show you in between what actually it takes, and also just to keep the content on the going on the YouTube channel and stuff like that. So the last time you saw me racing was Cookstown. That was April. Last weekend in April. It is now, we're into the second week of June. It's been quite a while since we've done any racing or we've done any racing related videos. Myself personally, you would have seen the TT video and stuff coming out, but none based on my racing. So what has happened between then and now? Well, first things first is Cookstown. We had a lot of issues in the dry. I did put a few wee videos on social media and stuff, and a lot of people commented about checking out the suspension with the way the bike was handling. So we already sort of knew that. After the race, I did mention to Kevin, Stephen, about the way the bike was reacting out on the dry, and the lads got stuck into it even though the race was done, but they got stuck in to investigate a few things. Basically when they were changing the dampening settings. So this is the front forks, okay? So these are all dampening settings. So the 17 here will do something. The clickers here, the wee flathead bits, they turn. So there's a click in every turn of them. And each one changes something. So one will be compression, one will be rebound. You'll also have ones down here which will do either compression or rebound. I should really know what to do, but I don't. The important thing is when Kevin and Stephen went adjusting the bike after the race, no matter what they'd done to the bike, the suspension stayed the same, which told us that the dampening settings weren't working. So either the adjusters weren't working or whatever was in the bike just wasn't working. So we also had Ben have a quick look at it, and they also reckoned that nothing was working, no changes were being made. So we obviously made the bike a bit softer from what we had wrote down for the short circuits, and we did try to go a bit softer. Obviously it didn't work because there's no adjustment in it. So yeah, like it is what it is, we live and we learn. After that it was up to me to get the suspension sent away. We've done that, so big thanks to PLR Suspension at Cardor, Clarence Bell, absolute gentleman. He took the front forks away and he's fitted new K-Tech internals to the forks and given them a good clean up. You can see how clean they are now. So he's given them a good clean up, put new cartridge kit in and things like that. So it's all new. And yeah, so that means for Tanzergi we have hopefully suspension that's a bit more better. The other thing we need to do is was to fix the rev counter. So if you've been watching any videos from this season, you'll see in the very first video, I think, that the rev counter was slightly working in terms of the needle was moving, but it wasn't working very accurately. The second and third or whatever, how many ever videos that it's been, I don't even know, but the needle wasn't working at all. So these are Kuzo clocks. We bought these clocks after our big crash at the end of last year. We had a skit shoe clock, I think that's how you say it. That was powered by a 9-volt battery stuck on here by the previous owner. After the crash, the rev counter didn't work. That was fine. We wanted to go digital anyway. If you look at these clocks, yes, you have your needle, but you still have your you have a digital temperature gauge. Sorry, can't find the words. So we wanted that anyway because Stephen Tobin had his Kuzo clock and it was a better job. You can see the temperature and stuff compared to the wee needle I was using previously. So we've had bother setting that up, but again we got talking to Ben Milan about it. After talking to him, he's recommended do what he's done and just wire directly into the ECU. So that's my plan today, is to wire that into the ECU. After that, I'm going to fire up the laptop and show you the the sort of the idea behind the ECUs on these carbureted bikes. I'm gonna show you through it and show you what I know so far anyway. So that is the plan. So I'm gonna strip the bike down so I can get access from, I basically need access from the ECU right up to the clock to run a new wire, and hopefully it works. So that's the tank off. So what the 400 runs is a ram air box. So the fuel tank basically becomes the air box. So as you can see here, it's sealed up with like a plate. Quickly just show you. Sealed up, see there, with the plate, and then it just runs right nicely along the seal of the tank, and then there's your air box. So that's where your air goes into. Just thought I'd show you that, and then this is your ram air then from the front. So I'm going to show you. So this is the ECU here behind the battery. The plug then runs right out here into two connectors. So these are two. The ECU is like a universal one, so they provide you with the adapter plugs basically for the looms of the bikes. So this one here, which is the green and yellow one, is coming from pin 15 on the ECU, and that is going into the loom, standard loom. Okay, so that is technically connecting into where the road bike tachograph, which is your rev counter, should be part of. This bike doesn't have that. It's been cut out of the loom at some stage. Because the old clocks ran off the HT lead. Okay, so they've cut the original on it and they've done that. It obviously worked. It worked for me for a while. It's obviously worked for them. So that's why that's plugged in there. So basically what I need to do is take this wire out of here, add a connector on it, and then run this wire up along here, in under the air box. It's going to come out here and meet this bit of wiring loom here that I have done, and this here wire here, which I've already cut, is the rev counter wire for the Koso clock. So I got the wire out of the plug. I'll quickly show you how you do that. So this is your plug. You can see the two empty ones at the bottom. See there? So the wee tabs there that you can see that are free, just lock into the spade. It's hard for the camera to focus. So they lock into that wee spade, so all you do is get a wee pick or something, a wee flathead screwdriver, push it up, and then pull back the wire. So that's the wire there with the original spade on it. If I can get it to work. So with the original spade, I've just put a quick connector on it now, just for a quick test. Run the wire up along the loom and out the front there. Here is the wire here. Loads of spare, and there is the bar we need to go to. So again, put a quick connector on, quickly rebuild it, and then fire up, see if that's working, and then we will order a proper spade to fit there and a proper connection for up here, and then yeah, that'll just be the finishing touches. So we'll see how we get on here. So I'm gonna set up the time lapse again. So it's going to be connecting the wire to the front, airbox back in, carbs on, start her up, hopefully she starts, and hopefully the rev counter works. So fingers crossed. So, bike's all built up again. What I'm gonna do now is start the bike up. I have my laptop and stuff connected up to the ECU. So, this is the program for the ECU, Ignitec ECU. So I'm plugged into that. But we'll start the bike up first and see if our rev counter is working without trying to knock the laptop over. So bike is still starting, which is good. Our rev counter is moving. It sounds a bit louder than 1100 revs, but what we can do on the computer here is check what the output of the ECU is saying that it's doing, and I think we can go in and try to match it up with the rev counter through this. So I'm going to try to figure that out. So if we're looking at the rev counter, it's saying about 1100, 1200 revs, but if we're looking at the ECU, it's saying in between 2300 and 2500 revs. So let's have a wee play about and see what I can do. So I have found the issue with the rev counter. If we go into settings here and look at the output, so it was on 2 and I've now changed it to 4. So that has cured the issue. If we start the bike up now, yeah, ready to go. So as you can see there, it's sitting about 1800. Excuse the sellotape. You can see there, it's just sitting about the same. That's that issue sorted. I've also set up when we first got the clock, I set up a shift light on the actual clock. You can't do it through the ECU, but I do have it currently set up to the clock. So we'll see how that performs when we first take it out. It should be between about 13.2 and 13.7. I think it should be in and around that. So we'll see how that goes for us as well. What else needs done before we go racing? Just a few wee bits to put back on it. Bits of plastic that go in here. A bit of like PVC we have in there. It just stops all the dirt, as you can see here, stinking there because it cooks down. So I'll get the PVC stuff in and take all this out and clean it. Because I've cleaned under there after having that out. So yeah, and then I need to set up the sag on the front forks as well, so we'll get that done. And should be ready for Cookerson next week. So it's been a few days since the last video update I done with the 400. It's now Sunday and we're out. Kevin and Gad both messing about there trying to get the bike. So we're out here at Dungarn just to spin a few laps to try to get up to speed again before next weekend's racing at Ulster Superbike. So have a bit of crack. It's a bit damp at the minute, so we'll see how we get on. First few runs of the day are done. First one I went out, had a wee accident, just trying to find the limit in the wet around here. Just the rear end came round, but it's still wet out there. The rain is off, but there probably will be another shower soon. But it's nice to be able to ride a bike in the wet without pressure. This is the first real year I've started riding bikes in the wet. Just through pure luck. I was just watching Kevin, sorry, I think he had a bit of a moment there. So we've had a few more sessions. It's dry now, so yeah, we've completely stopped the tire. As you can see here, you have your nipples across the tire. You get to the right hand side, there should be one here somewhere, and then you've one on the edge, it's just about there. So the tire is done. I can feel that on the bike. It's starting to slide around quite a lot. So that's just done for the day. Oh, that's all I can describe. My left hand side sore, my right ankle sore with the riding position that you have to have in the pit bike. Oh, but it's good to get a good physical workout on a bike again. Especially 7 weeks now since we've raced the 400, so that's good practice for next week. Had fun, plenty of laps done. It's a bit of a drive for us. It's about 3 hours away, but you don't get the track time anywhere else, so if you're looking at track time, this is the place to come. So yeah, delighted with the track time, bit of wet riding and a lot of dry riding, so what's there not to like. I've absolutely destroyed the knee slider. So yeah, you can actually start to see the building of the plastic. So yeah, time for some new knee sliders, a nice bath I think, and hit the road. So this is going to be the end of this video. This is sort of like a preparation video ahead of probably our biggest test coming up, which is Tandragee 100. In fact, it is our biggest test. There's no probably about it. It is the hardest national road race in Ireland and the best, I would say. But yeah, so this is all preparation for it. So quite successful, and a few issues with the bike that we've sorted as well, so everything's hopefully looking good. We'll get out then and have a bit of fun at Tandragee, but before then we're racing next weekend at Kirkerson. So without further ado, I'm just going to end this video and say thanks for watching. If you haven't done, please do subscribe. It really does help me a lot, and yeah, I'll see you next time.